Hey everybody, welcome back to Scary Movies after a 2 week break, courtesy of the NFL randomly forgetting that I have an account. That has been resolved, so we are back to take a look at the Green Bay game. As you can see from the screen, what I want to look at today is the tale of two Allens, and specifically the difference in Josh Allen's performance before the half, and then of course after the half. And this might sound a little bit like nitpicking, but feel free to stay to the end, and I'll tell you the real reason why I want to do this breakdown. So we're going to start off with not only the first touchdown pass of the day, but actually Josh Allen's first completed pass of the day. The number of things that Josh Allen does well is almost too high to count for this, but we'll do our best. And we're going to start off with, right here, we have the pump fake from Allen. For the next few frames, pay very close attention to his opponent as he does this little hop and change in body mechanics, which alters the momentum just enough for Josh Allen to get to the outside. And then next up, as we have an attempt at a tackle, I'd like you to focus on this right arm and shoulder for Josh Allen. As the hand reaches out, Allen's eyes remain forward, and instinctively, he just pulls the ball and arm away to make sure that tackle can't be completed. And as you've probably seen 100 times, but feel free to watch 100 more, quick pitch to Dawson Knox. Buffalo Bills are on the board. Next up, we're going to take a look at the second touchdown of the game to Stefon Diggs, and I'd like to take a look at this one pretty much full speed to start off with. Now, full speed, this comes across as a very impressive throw, but the reality is, when we start breaking this down, it gets even better. So the first thing I want to highlight is the ball placement here. When Stefon Diggs, or any receiver for that matter, is riding the sideline like we see here, even just a little bit of a throw to the outside can lead to an incomplete pass. But here we do have it shading to the inside, which allows that center of gravity for the receiver to just step inside and make sure that we have a better chance at a completion. Now, what makes this particular pass even more impressive is that when we go in reverse, you're going to see Josh Allen, spooky season, rising from the grave kind of deal for Halloween here. But take a look at his body mechanics. Obviously, if he's coming up from the ground in a reverse angle, we do have a quarterback hit. So he was hit right after the throw here. But take a look at the lack of a pocket. Ordinarily, for this distance of a pass, Allen is at about the 33-yard line. The ball will go all the way to the end zone. And if you feel free to, break out your Pythagorean theorem, that means the ball traveled further than 33 yards in the air. For a throw of that distance, you really would like the right foot to be able to swing forward, or at the very least some shoulder rotation. And for this particular throw, we don't get much of either of those things. The forward foot can't come forward at all, and the shoulder barely does. So in other words, what I'm trying to convey is that over 33-yard throw, this is all arm and pinpoint accuracy. So what looked like on the broadcast angle an incredible throw really is upper echelon. And so we're just going to take two plays from each half and try to highlight the differences between Josh Allen's performances, like I said. And with this number on the screen, you've probably guessed it. This is Josh Allen's first half completion percentage. Now for the total game, he ended up at 52%, which means that his second half was even further below that. So if I did my numbers correctly, he did end up at 36% for the second half, which really is a drastic difference in performance, with really a 50% or reduction in completion percentage. Now, I'm going to highlight two passes from the second half, not the interceptions. Nobody wants to see those again. Right here, though, we have our 3rd and 10, just a little bit prior to the first interception. And we're going to start off taking a look at the pocket Josh Allen has. He's got tons of space. So unlike our first throw, he does have the room to step forward with the right foot, rotate the shoulders, and deliver the ball with excellent body mechanics. But for some reason, he lets that leg drag Shoulder can't swing as freely as maybe we'd like. And the result for this particular pass is an overthrow. We see the ball up here. Stefon Diggs is jumping, can't quite get his hands on it. Incomplete pass, and we are bailed out with a flag. So a bit of a lucky break, but again, interception a couple plays later. So really that drive could have ended there and it wouldn't have made much of a difference. But again, you know, that really was on Josh Allen. Some poor mechanics and just an overthrow. And for our final play that we're going to review, we're going to see some similarities, but we will focus on a couple things that did go well. And specifically Josh Allen's scrambling ability. So here, in a lot of situations, this would not be good for a quarterback. Josh Allen is not really any other quarterback, though, so he is able to get free. And at this point, this is interesting what happens with the two defenders. You have Jake Kumerow coming between two. Josh Allen is also trailing to the right, so the two of them can, use their usual magic together to make something happen. And making this even more egregious, the deep defender turns his back to the play, assuming that there's help up front. Kumerow has a couple of steps and all the room in the world. This should have been, at the very least, a long gain. And Kumerow might have just one person to beat for a possible touchdown. And that jump tells you everything you need. Too high, can't make the throw on the run. We've seen Josh Allen complete this more times than we can count. Just today wasn't his day. So this sounds a bit like nitpicking, and to some degree that's probably fair. But I want you to take a look at one more slide and really get to the point of all of this. As Buffalo Bills fans, we've seen a ton of games where quarterbacks made mistakes, execution errors, whatever you want to pinpoint, and you don't have this result. So these types of games are kind of new territory for Buffalo Bills fans, and that's the reason for highlighting the tale of two Josh Allens. In a game where we can clearly say that he played 30 minutes below our usual expectations, which is going to happen. Everybody has an off day, or an off 30 minutes in this case. The Bills still won by 2 scores against a future Hall of Fame quarterback. If that is not a comforting thought, I don't know what is. Thank you for watching. Assuming my account remains active, I'll see you again next week.